First and foremost, I want to give all praises and glory to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua by Hashem Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone who are well. Peace and salutations to the elders and the Akim pushing this truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the face of the earth. And to the elect who are receiving this truth, I say grace be unto you. I'm the brother Kahan from the GMS Dallas camp, coming to you today with a little article here that I just found. And basically it's just highlighting that, the cost of this war is getting up to the high billions, even up to the trillions, you see. So I'm going to read a little bit of this article and get a couple of precepts, and hopefully this will be edifying. Okay, so it says Peter Schiff, and Peter Schiff is a world renowned economist. It says Peter Schiff warns Iran war could cost US 1 trillion and send inflation skyrocketing as Mohammed El-Erian flags risk of supply chain quote sudden stops. See, it says economists are warning that the escalating Iran conflict could trigger a surge in oil prices, disrupt global supply chains, and potentially reignite inflation pressures in the U.S. and worldwide. See, so you're seeing right now that this global conflict is starting to get really expensive, man. You see, what did they say? What's the slogan? It's easy to get into the war, but it's hard to get out. And somebody has to flip that bill. You see. So, continuing on, it says Peter Schiff warns war spending could fuel inflation. On Friday, economist Peter Schiff warned that a prolonged conflict with Iran could have massive economic consequences, potentially costing the U.S. hundreds of billions of dollars. It says, quote, Trump committed Americans to pay billions to defeat Iran, then billions more to rebuild what we destroy, end quote. It says, Schiff wrote on X, the costs will likely be measured in the hundreds of billions and can top 1 trillion, causing already rising inflation to skyrocket. That's right. So you see all these people who are these, these elites, they profit from war. They arm both sides, you see, because war is a very, very profitable business for these elite bankers, man. You see, we've seen that throughout the World War I, World War II, you see, right? Let me get a quick precept real quick. This is Salaki, Proverbs 22:7. It says, the rich ruleth over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender. That's right, man. You see, Esau knows that the more debt that he gets from accruing from these war, man, is going to contribute, the loss of freedom for society, man. You see, so these elites know that they're going to have more control over the resources. That's why they constantly want to put you so-called Black Latinos and Native Americans in war, man. There's even talks right now of there being a draft. You see, and what did one of the Rothschilds say? He said, give me control of a country's currency, and I care who basically makes the laws. You see. So that's what this devil is doing, man. He's very covetous. You see? Let's get that in Sirach chapter 10, verse 9 real quick. All right, this is Sirach chapter 10, verse 9. Right, it says, why is earth and ashes proud? There is not a more wicked thing than a covetous man, for such an one setteth his own soul to sale. Because while he liveth, he casteth away his bowels. That's right. Esau's, again, these elite bankers are very covetous, man. He wants everything. He wants all the resources. He can't have enough, man. See, and that's how he also puts these while he gets all the resources and all the real wealth. What does he exchange? He gives you the debt. You see. Profit is privatized, and everything everything else is the risk and all the debt is socialized, man. You see. So anyway, let me go back to that article. Right, it's not going to be too long. Right, I'm just going. And then I have a quote that I want to bring up too. Right. So continuing on, it says what? I'm just reading one of his what did he put on is it Twitter? It says Peter Schiff, Trump committed Americans to pay billions to defeat Iran, then billions more to rebuild what we destroyed to make Iran greater than ever. The cost will likely be measured in the hundreds of billions and could top 1 trillion, causing already rising inflations to skyrocket. And that's what he said, got gold. Because again, they know that, as all this the wars and the cost of war is gonna hyperinflate everything else and put people in a lot of debt, man. See? And you're seeing already we moving towards a cashless society. Why? Because they're seeing that all this money is going to be worthless eventually. See, it says when asked whether the conflict could push investors towards safe haven assets such as gold, Schiff responded, "Of course." He also pushed back against suggestion that rising energy costs alone would drive inflation, arguing instead that government borrowing and money creation would play a bigger role. And we all know these elite, what do? They hoard all the true wealth of gold because we know, according to prophecy, what they're moving towards a cashless society. They wanna see hip everybody, according to Revelation 13 chapter. You see, that's what they really want to do. You see, it says what continuing on the inflation, quote unquote, the inflation comes from all the money the Fed will create to fund all the debt the Treasury will issue to pay for the war, he said. And this is all their purpose, man. This is their order ab chaos. You see? Let me get a quick scripture to, you know. This is Proverbs chapter 28, verse 8. It says, Proverbs 28:8, he that by usury and unjust gain increaseth his substance, he shall gather it for him that will pity the poor. That's right, man. You see? So the scripture warns against, gaining wealth, and by trapping others. You see? Because again, this is how the elites use, the tools of war to make sure that, people are fearful and scared. But at the same time, he makes sure that, the taxpayer is going to flip the bill. You see? Because we all know this Babylon the Great has to be destroyed. So he's trying to, the scripture said, well, he's trying to heap all the money that he can. You see, what's that in Habakkuk? It's Habakkuk 2, right? Let's see what's that. Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 6. Yeah, verse 5. So like it's Habakkuk 2 and 5. Yea, also because he transgresses by wine. What is that wine? Right? His democracy, everything, his philosophy, all the lies and deception he uses to ensnare people. It says he also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathered unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. That's right, and that's what he uses. He uses all his what is that what do you call the IMF giving all these loans to these countries, with high interest, so that they are unable to repay back the loan. So what does he do? Then he uses that as leverage to take all their resources. You see, that's why this devil has to be stopped, man. You see, but we all know this is ultimately this is part of the will of the Lord. You see, but people are starting to see Esau's and these elite bankers their true nature. You see. Let me get another scripture real quick. Proverbs. This is Proverbs chapter 21 and 20. Hold on, so like it. Proverbs chapter 21, verse 20 says, there is treasure to be desired and oil in the foolish man spendeth it up. That's right, man. You know, you're supposed to be wise with the type of power that you've been given, as far as understanding how to use resources in the correct manner. See, so a wise person is he's gonna have foresight, and he's gonna have restraint. You know, so that resources can be reserved for the future. But this devil just he anytime he sees oil, he sees any type of gold or minerals in any poor nation, third world country, he creates a distraction in order to go and covet it and to get it for himself, so that the people of that country can't use it for their own well being. You see, and people see the truth, man. They know the reason why we in the Middle East right now. It's all because of oil, man. You see, and better trade. Better trade ventures in the what is it in the Strait of Hormuz, man. You see. Let me go back to this. Go back to it a little bit real quick. Just get a couple more scriptures and then we can close it out. Let me jump down a little bit, right? It says Iran war could cost us. So like Iran war could cost U.S. up to $210 billion, and you best believe that society is not gonna the U.S. is not gonna benefit from that, man. The poor amongst the poor amongst those in America are not going to reap that 210 billion, man. It's going to go to the wealthiest 1%. You see, and all the people who are in the military industrial complex, man. You see, it says the U.S. military campaign against Iran, Operation Epic Fury, could cost American taxpayer between 40 billion and 210 billion, said Kent Smetters, director of the Penn Wharton budget model, last week. See, and you don't hear no one in this administration talking about the cost of war. They're not telling you that this is how much the American taxpayer is spending. You see, and these conservatives, these Republicans, they're supposed to be the ones who are more fiscal responsible. You see, they're supposed to be the ones who not supposed to. They're the ones that not are supposed to be mad about going to war, man, and about the cost of war. You see, it says Smathers estimated the minimum direct budgetary cost of 40 billion, potentially rising to 95 billion, with a more likely figure around 65 billion, covering military operations and equipment replacement. You see, the total could climb further if the conflict lasts longer than 2 months. And you best believe that, these private companies, Blackwater, Halliburton, all these companies, they're gonna get their first share, man. You see. So anyway, I think that's let me get a quick quote right quick. This is just a quote from Orwell. This is a book that he wrote in 1948. I'm just going to read it off. It says Orwell back in 1948 warned us that permanent war is a strategy, not a struggle. It's designed to burn through resources and keep people too distracted. Right? Salaki. Oh, there it is. It says, let me start over. It says Orwell back in 1948 warned us that permanent war is a strategy, not a struggle. It's designed to burn through resources and keep people too distracted to ask questions. You see, if people are kept afraid and underinformed, the structure of society stays the same while fighting ghosts. And that's exactly what we're seeing today. You see? And here's this quote that was, people are know him for. It says, the war is not meant to be won. It is meant to be continuous. It says hierarchical society is only possible on the basis of poverty and ignorance. And that's right, man. A lot of people just don't know too much about the Middle East, the history, how things got, started as far as, the Iran, Israel conflict. You see, and that's very intentional. You see, so that we have people here that are fear mongering and saying that you're unpatriotic if you start to question certain things, man. It says the war is waged by the ruling group against its own subjects, and its object is not the victory of over either Eurasia or East Asia, but to keep the very structure of society intact. That's right, man. You see, it's a distraction. It's a tool used to keep people in line, man. You see, that's why this devil has to be destroyed, man. See, but anyway, I think that's about. I think that was it. All that I wanted to hit on. Uh, Let me get one more scripture real quick. This is Luke chapter 14. No, I still like it. No, not that. That's not what I want. Let me get Proverbs 13 and 11. Right? It says, wealth gotten by vanity shall be diminished, but he that gathereth by labor shall increase. That's right, man. All the wealth that Esau is eventually getting through this war, uh, you know, he he's gonna get it's gonna increase him, but at the end of the day, it's gonna be for naught. You see, because he eventually it's gonna be given. It's gonna be given to the elect, man. See, he's just gathering all that wealth for Yahweh's Yahweh's people, man. You see, so hopefully this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, by Hashem Kakwadash. Double honors to the Apostle Great Millstone, who rule well, and peace and salutations to the elders in Akim, pushing his truth and sincerity to four corners of the face of the earth, and to the elect to receive his truth. I say, grace be unto you and shalom.